Guys, let us look at example 1. I'm starting with the easier one and then we will handle more challenging ones as we understand the simpler ones. Guys, here it is the sign of a ratio. So the power of the sign is just a 1. So when the power of the sign is just that invisible 1, all we have to start with is just by using the general formula for the derivative of the sign, which we know that the derivative of the sine function is just the cosine function. But is it just going to end like that? No, we still have to multiply by the derivative of the inner, and we can clearly see that inner is a quotient. It's a ratio of two functions. Okay, so let us start by writing the steps. Y prime will be the derivative of sine, right? We're treating this as sine of a big X. It's going to be just the cosine of, but whatever is inside the parentheses, I have to write the same thing. And then we have to multiply this. All we have to do is we have to multiply this by the derivative of the inner d over dx of 2x over x plus 1, right? So this, we cannot do anything with that. We just got to leave it like this or just keep on rewriting it. And then we have to find or evaluate the derivative of this function. Guys, we already know to find the derivative of this function, one has to use what we call as the quotient rule. So we got to treat this as an f function and this as a g function. And let us quickly remind ourselves what is the quotient rule. Guys, if I identify this as f and this as g, then the quotient rule works like this: f prime times g minus g prime times f, and I got to divide this whole thing by g square. So let us apply that and try to evaluate the derivative of this function. Guys, got to multiply by the f prime, which is just simply 2, right? Let me put this in parentheses. This whole thing in parentheses, so 2, and then I just have to multiply by simply the g function, so I got to put that in parentheses because it's a binomial, x plus 1, then minus g prime, derivative of this function, the denominator is just 1, derivative of x is 1, derivative of 1 is 0, so and then times f function, which is 2x, and guys, this whole thing has to be divided by the square of the denominator, which is x plus 1 whole square, right? Now let us go ahead and simplify. Y prime is cosine of 2x over x plus 1, and then this, we got to distribute this, so it's 2x plus 2 minus 2x, right? And then there's an x plus 1 whole square. Guys, we can clearly see that this 2x and this 2x will cross out, right? So we should cross that out, and finally I'm left with 2 over x plus 1 whole square. Guys, keep in mind, we cannot multiply these two because this is not outside. This is an angle which is connected with the cosine. So that's something else that I want to point out, because I don't want any of my students, any of the students watching these videos to make those type of careless mistakes. Guys, this is not multiplied to cosine, it's a function. So you cannot, it's a trig function, and this here by itself is an algebraic function. So we cannot directly multiply or do anything with that. So all we can do right here is, well, these two cross out, I'm left with 2 over x plus 1 whole square. So we like to write the algebraic function up front. I mean, it does not really matter. If you want to write it next, first you want to write the trig and then you want to write the algebraic, that's fine. But sometimes we like to write the algebraic first and the trig later. So this, we wrote that first, and then I just have to multiply by the cosine of 2x over x plus 1. Guys, this is the derivative of the sine function. All we needed to do was we needed to start with the idea or with the fact that the derivative of the sine is the cosine, but then we had to multiply by the derivative of the inner. So basically we are using the chain rule, and we are also using the basic rules for the trig functions, in this case the sine function. Okay, so guys, this is number 1. I will see you in the next video with another example.